ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. We're going to have a teaching lesson today. Yes, we're going to have class. Class is about to be in session. So make sure you get your pen, paper, whatever you need to do, get it together. And also, I hope you chilling, have your cocktail, water, crunch and munch. I don't know. Whatever it is, you need to get comfortable with because we're going to get into this lesson. And this lesson is about scorned women. What scorned women will do when they're being rejected or they hurt by a man, right? Now, don't get me wrong. It hurts to be rejected, and when a man hurts you, it does. It really does. But some women just go to the extreme. They get a little crazy. They can get dangerous, very vindictive, very evil. Slash your tires, put sugar in your tank, spread rumors about you that's not true. They'll do all kind of stuff, but it does hurt. It does hurt because you have some men out here that will mislead you and they will play with your heart. Or you gave him your heart, your time, your love, and you thought that he felt the same way too, but come to find out you was dating a clown. Yes, a clown. A piece of crap, a clown. So we're going to get into Nature Boy. But first, we're going to have our lesson for the day. Okay, we're going to get into our lesson. Then we're going to get into Nature Boy. Why am I leading to Nature Boy? Yes, I'm talking about Nature Boy again. Because Nature Boy is dealing with a situation while he's in jail because of scorned women. They just couldn't get that title. They just wanted to be the number one girl. The number one. The head chiefess, whatever he calls it. I don't know. Whatever he calls it. That's what he wanted, right? All right, so we're going to get into the lesson. And I want to talk about what scorned women are. So we're going to get into it real quick. All right, give me a second here. And the people that's coming in, make sure you hit the like button. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Also subscribe to my channel. And feel free to check out some of my past commentary. I love feedback. And I also want to say to all the men out there, happy Father's Day. Yes. That's doing your job, that's taking care of your children, being providers, protectors. I mean, it's a hard job, but you're doing it. And this is your weekend. This is your day. So happy Father's Day. All right. So I'm going to play a video, but I'm just going to get into real quick about what is a scorned woman. Yes, a scorned woman. You have them out here. Oh, yeah. They get real evil. All right, so basically a scorned woman is, I have something here that's might give you a little bit of a meaning. Then I'm going to play a video and we're going to listen to the video. Which one I'm going to read? I don't know. I'll just read this one here. A woman rejected in love can be very angry and dangerous. Hell is a noun, according to the various religion, a place of suffering where bad people go after death. Huff, I'm hoping to say it right, and fury is violent anger. A Greek mythology, a woman's spirit of punishment, scorn, to rejection. So, people that's watching the replay or that's here now, let me know. Men, have you dealt with a woman that was scorned and she was mad because you broke up with her? Or you didn't give her what she wanted, you didn't give her that ring, I don't know. Or she feels she's been misled, or she feels like she invested so much time in you, and then what did she come out the end with? Nothing. So was she mad? Or she feel that you pumped and dumped her, and she wanted more than just a pump and dump. She wanted a relationship. So she was scorned, and she got angry, and she went out for revenge. I don't know. Just share your thoughts. Let me know. All right, so we have a lesson now. So class is in session. So we're going to listen to this video. And I thought this was an awesome video breaking down about a scorned woman. And I might pause a little bit just to share my thoughts and opinions. Okay? And the video is from, let me see where that video is from. It's called Thinking Ape. Thinking Ape. That's the name of the channel. Awesome video. I had to subscribe to this one. Got some cool videos. All right, so let's get ready to get into class, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
Many of you might be familiar with the phrase, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. It's often falsely attributed to William Shakespeare. In fact, it comes from a play that was written in 1697 about 100 years later by a guy named William Congreve. And the full line goes like this: heaven has no rage like love to hatred turned, nor hell a fury like a woman scorned. And today I want to break down that notion, that concept of the scornful woman, the vengeful woman who, whereupon facing rejection or indeed other circumstances, lashes out in vengeance and anger in a way that could only be described as self-righteous and in the eyes of the many very much unjustified. So contained within that phrase,
did you know that you could get $50,000 to over $150,000 of
original or the modified quote, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. The idea being that if you reject a woman in any capacity, she will visit her wrath upon you. Now, this is most commonly made manifest in the very simple rejection of a woman's advances or her interest in you, because there are a number of factors that go into this, obviously. There's a long-standing biological order, of course, that demands that the man is the one who approaches. And indeed, it is the woman who ultimately selects as to whether or not the man is appropriate for her. And womenkind have done this since time immemorial. So part of that is an emergent social order or social system that is ultimately derived from biological functions. So women are simply just not frequently in the position that they act as suitors, and therefore, when they do have interest and they're more active about it, when they're rejected, it's taken that much more seriously. But it doesn't even need to be about being a suitor. It can simply be as simple as a scenario such as a man and a woman going on several dates where she fancies him and he determines at the end of the series of dates that he doesn't fancy her terribly much or doesn't like her as much as she likes him. Now, this social order ultimately derived from certain biological realities that go back millions and millions of years leads to a situation where, of course, men are used to quote-unquote rejection and have to deal with it in good faith without any sort of negativity, but women are not. And again, whether or not it's a woman outright approaching a man or simply a determination after several dates that the man doesn't like her, this generally leads to an asymmetry in the reaction on the part of a man versus part of a woman. Man is rejected, whether through direct approach or after several dates. He has to chalk it up to bad luck or whatever and move on. A woman's rejected, and not universally the case, but very frequently, you get this idea of hell hath no fury as a woman scorned. I've seen, by dint of the presence of social media, all the bizarre tactics and things that women engage in when they receive rejection. Trying to get back at the guy, making up stories, and sometimes the worst case scenario is accusing him of rape or sexual assault. All of it being poppycock in the instances I've cited. All because these particular women were so possessed of an ego that was so massive and entitled that they could not tolerate a single instance of what they deemed as inappropriate. Because beyond the logical derivation of why women might act this way, given the biological asymmetries that exist between men and women, it's really worth thinking about the degree of this expression of fury. The idea that a woman's value is so great and so intrinsic that any rejection of something she's offering is fundamentally wrong and indeed ought to be punished. Now, you might recall in a recent video I talked about female perception. And perception doesn't often, in this case, accord with reality. This idea of the cheaper to keep everything marriage, which is arguably an emergent phenomenon in the last couple of decades, where women want to keep the entirety of the marriage, but at the same time want something special on the side. So they're getting all the goodies in the formal institution that they would otherwise not have, but they get to have a little bit of fun and excitement, just for them. And this is then subsequently justified as necessary because the husband isn't providing it, or the marriage isn't providing it, and by golly, she demands it, and because she demands it, and because she's so deserving of it, she should get it, shouldn't she? Never mind a legal contract, never mind the ethics behind it. She wants it, so she should get it. And this is the same operative principle as hell hath no fury as a woman scorned. Quite simply, women think they're incredibly valuable, and that their time is incredibly valuable, and that their existence is more valuable than virtually anything else. And this goes well beyond formal rejection, where the consequences can be pretty dire. Some of these stories I've relayed to you are real. They're not common, but they do happen. It can go to a complete misperception of reality after years have passed. So one common thing you'll hear all the time, in fact, when you encounter men who've been broken in the context of marriage, or have heard stories about such men, is that you'll hear about this sudden turning on the part of the wife. everything was okay, but then she turned vicious and she wanted a divorce. And starting that point of time of separation, or indeed outwardly expressed discontent, she starts behaving very differently. She's petty, she's vengeful, she resents him. Resentment's probably the biggest one. And you'll see why this is the case expressed in various statements. You've often heard, of course, the phrase, "I gave him the best years of my life." This idea that a woman's time is uniquely precious, far more so than the time of a man, is an extension of this ego and self-appraisal.
I'm going to pause on that part when it says about a woman's time. All right, which is true, a woman's time. But, because women, we have time clocks. Our time clocks tick. It is what it is. Men don't really have a time clock. Women do. It's just like when women out here that wants to have children and want to get married, and they waste their 20s on some dusty, low-life waste of time. And they give them their prime years. And then they get up in age. It's a little bit difficult to have a child. So we do. But the point we're trying to make is, it's you who wasted your time with them. You know, when you get into a relationship with the guy, you should have a time period in your head like, well, look, we're together for a year or so. I don't know. It depends on everybody's individual is different. You know, people different. I've been with him a year. If he's not trying to make the move of marriage, and if that's what you want is marriage and children, well, then you need to let him go and move on to the next one. Don't waste your time. So you're the one who wasted your time. Yep, it is. So time is very precious, which is true. And I can understand how women feel they give their time. Some women go out here and give a man 5 years and come out with nothing. And he'll meet the next woman, been dating her for 6 months, and he's like, this is the love of my life and I want to marry her. And already buying a ring. So when you see you're not getting what you want, move on. But don't get evil and scorned and vindictive. It's not worth it. Resume.
Self-appraisal of incredible value. And so when you see this manifestation of women whose behavior radically shifts, leading to a breakup, or in the wake of a divorce or the end of a relationship, what's often happening is the woman has calculated in her own mind that the man has committed a wrong against her, that he had been wasting her time. 6 or 7 year relationship down the drain because the man did not turn out to be the spitting image of what the woman desired and thought he was, and I will talk about this briefly in a bit. Well, it's his fault, and he deserves to suffer. He bamboozled her. He tricked her. How dare he? Now remember, I've said this several times in previous videos, I think the metaphor we want to look at here is how women view men when they first encounter them in a positive light or are fond of them. It's like an impeccable painting. There are no cracks, no fissures. It is more or less perfect. And as time goes by, the man being a mere human being, something we all are, cracks and fissures emerge. And the woman can't help but take note of these cracks and fissures. The mistake she makes is not that her own perception has been incorrect and that she's simply projecting something onto the man, and as a consequence inevitably leading to a severe sense of disappointment. The mistake she makes is not the acknowledgement of that. The mistake she makes is that she believed her vision to be true. The picture was perfect, and the man, of course, has ruined it for her. And he needs to pay the piper, especially when so much time has gone by. Imagine, say, in the context of a marriage, all those years gone by, children. But it turned out that he wasn't as perfect as she had envisioned him to be, or the marriage itself wasn't as perfect as she had envisioned it to be, or both, or her life. Well, someone needs to pay the price, and of course it's not her fault. I mean, it takes two to tango is a pretty alien concept here. So ultimately, it has to be his fault. And then we see this reemergence of hell hath no fury as a woman scorned. This unrighteous anger directed at what is usually a fairly innocent guy here. A guy with his foibles, a guy who's done his best, but a guy who is oblivious to all the internal psychology going off in her own mind. The tall tales that women spin in their own minds could probably take up thousands of pages in a novel, but he's not privy to that. And then boom. He's supposed to just know these things. He's supposed to perceive it all. Now, this is just a function of female psychology, but ultimately, the real danger here is the anger and the unrighteous directing of that anger towards the man. Rather than viewing human male-female relationships as fundamentally and basically dysfunctional in some sense, which is to say, you can get by in them, but they'll never be perfect, and they will never, ever approach that near-perfect vision that so many women concoct in their own heads. She thinks that he has betrayed that vision. He's slashed the painting, that perfect painting that she had painted in her own mind, and she needs to go after him for it. And I don't think there's any curing of this. I don't think there's any way to fix this idea, since it's all based on projection. Because the more the man tries to, quote-unquote, be himself, the more he tries to reveal his actual humanity, with both its good points and its flaws, the more she feels betrayed by that. There's no way out of that, ultimately. And I've seen this happen time and time again, in relationships, in marriages. I've talked to guys who are simply blindsided by this. One day, they wake up to an angry, vengeful, bitter wife or girlfriend, and they know not what has transpired, but she's going to pay them back for all her suffering. All those years down the drain, because he wasn't perfect. He didn't live up to her expectations. And of course, her being the center of the universe, or at least her universe, he needs to pay. Anyway, gentlemen, if I'm still live, I'll check you out later. As always, may the gods watch over you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to get into the main topic. I hope that will give you a little clarity on a scorned woman and what they would do and why they do it. And like I said, I can understand it does hurt when you're being rejected or you was let down by a man and he misled you, or he filled you with dreams, he breadcrumbed you, whatever it could be. You get what I'm saying? Let you down as a father to your children, as a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It's a million things that can happen. But there's no need to really get vindictive, because you know what's going to happen is you might end up going to jail. Is it really worth it? Slashing the tires, breaking the windows, putting sugar in the gas tank, spreading rumors about them. It's just not worth it. But I know the pain hurts. The pain hurts. All right. So the reason why I wanted to get into this one, and the reason why I'm talking about this Nature Boy, because basically this is kind of like what Nature Boy is going through, the scorned women. See, these women, she's over here. No, it's not this one, but these are his current wives that he has right now that you see. Those are his current wives, right? And this one here was a wife that he has, well, they actually legally married, and I believe, if I'm correct, they still legally married. I could be wrong, so don't nobody hold me to it and have to look it up, right? Because I haven't really watched the Nature Boy saga in a minute. But like I said, if it goes to trial, I will follow it. If the trial, it's going to go to trial, but I mean, if it becomes public, I will follow it. And thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for hitting the like button, and thank you for the mods on deck. I just want to get into this because it's a lesson today. All right, now in this picture, is it this picture? Yeah. That's one of the scorned women. She's at the right with the beige, yellowish outfit. That's the one who said that he did this, he did that, and all this kind of stuff. And like I'm trying to say, I'm not a Nature Boy fan. I do not support Nature Boy. I don't support the stuff that he does. But it is what it is. I mean, he puts his stuff online. Everybody sees what he does. But these women still want to go out there. They know what's happening. And they're all over age. They know what they're doing. Everything. Just look up Nature Boy. You're going to see so much commentary about him. All right? They did the research. Some of them go out there. They go out there for the clicks and views, the clout, the word they use. Then next time they come back, they start their own YouTube channel. And they talk about Nature Boy this, Nature Boy that, and all this. Because they just want the attention. That's why some of these women run out there. And then some will go out there because they want to be... They in love with him. They want to be that head chiefess. And they get mad. They don't get that position. And she's one of them. And just like his baby mother, or his wife, Evil Velvet. Now, Velvet would be still out there with him. The only real reason why she left, these are my thoughts and opinions, is because she was the head chiefess, whatever you call it, health chief, whatever the words they use, right? But she didn't want to share the wood. That was the problem. She wanted him all to herself, but she liked the fact of the whole carbonation. Let me show you. This whole carbonation, she was in charge. She telling everybody what to do, how to do. She loved it. And they could all watch her kid while she can run around and do whatever. They, washing her feet, all that kind of, it's just crazy. It really is crazy, right? But she didn't want to share the wood. See, there she go with the blue next to Nature Boy right there in the middle. That's why she left. So she was scorned. So as when she left, she got mad. She was like, I'm going to take down the whole carbonation. So like I said, this other girl, I don't know if she's in this picture. No, well, there's some of the guys out there with the carbonation guys, right? Now, I did show you a picture of one. I said, here. Now, that was the last one that was out there, and she's the one who got mad because she wanted that title. But I don't think she'd mind sharing the wood. She just wanted to be the number one. But she wasn't. He didn't make her chiefess. It's so crazy. I know, it's just like a soap opera. It's just really crazy. And this is basically why Eligio is in jail. Okay? And I don't think that's right. Fair is fair. Now, I'm not saying he's a good person and everything, but a lot of things that was happening out there in carbonation, as I started watching it, in the beginning, I was like feeling sorry for these people going out there, because I was like, oh my God, they must be, they being brainwashed, they trapped out there. And then as I started watching, I realized, wait a minute, they not really all that brainwashed and being trapped. They go out there on their own. He ain't put a bullet to their head and say, you have to stay here and come out here. They chose their selves. Just the same thing as Evil Velvet did too. She went there, she left, came back, left, came back. Yeah, back and forth. But she didn't want to share the wood no more, so she was done. Alright, so now we're going to get into the commentary. So we're going to watch this video, and I might pause for a second or two to share my thoughts. And what you do is, like I said, share your thoughts and make sure you hit the like. Let's get it. Scorned women. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I know y'all have to watch out for these type of women. They will try to ruin you. Women could be worse than men. Let's get it.
Eligio Bishop has been incarcerated at DeKalb County Jail since April 14th, 2022. Throughout this year, he has been constantly harassed by online critics and media broadcasts. The following will show the defamation of character Mr. Bishop has been going through while fighting for his freedom. The following shows the constant harassment and defamation of character Mr. Bishop has been constantly going through, not only throughout his spiritual journey, but during this time while he has been trying to fight for his freedom. These images and videos are from one of Mr. Bishop's most biggest online critic that has been harassing him for the past 3 years. The YouTube channel is called The Tea, and it is owned by someone by the name of Chantel Coleman. Mr. Bishop is in jail for some serious charges, and while there's evidence out there that he's completely innocent, his online critics have been constantly putting out false narratives and lies about his case. This puts Mr. Bishop in jeopardy because it could possibly affect the future jurors who will be hearing this case. Not only has Chantel Coleman and many other critics defamed his character, but the alleged victim has also made a mockery of Mr. Bishop as well. The following shows Mr. Bishop at his bond hearing, then the alleged victim publicly making a mockery of him.
All right, so now we've got Mr. Bishop. Good afternoon, sir. Okay, thank you. Because of those charges, I'm not able to set a bond in your case, so your attorney is going to follow up with you about filing a motion for bond in Superior Court. But that's going to be all we can do for you today.
Outstanding.
Then the alleged victim makes a mockery of Mr. Bishop.
All I can say is outstanding. Outstanding.
Get a load of her. Outstanding, outstanding. You was out there with all the shenanigans, all the craziness. You was a part of it. You was a part of it. You was a bully too, Malia and everybody. You think we didn't see those videos? But since you didn't get what you wanted, so you went to go and get him. And Emmanuel said something. Let me read what Emmanuel said. Emmanuel says, I don't feel bad for Nature Boy. He is a scumbag, which I agree. I look at this more as karma, not forgetting an address. You have a great point. And it could be, like I said, with this karma. And one thing I have to say is, they all need to go to jail. All of them. They all not innocent. It shouldn't just be him. Fair is fair. That's how I look at it. But you have a great point, Emmanuel. Great point there. And I see wellness. Blessings to you. Let's get back to the video.
Woo! And this is not necessarily for me, it's for our community at this point. And thank y'all for the support. Yes, no bond. The done, okay? The done. That's a fact.
The done. Reason.
She then admits to working with a group to keep Mr. Bishop locked up.
Yeah, we've been working behind the scenes. No, it's okay. We've been working behind the scenes for a good minute to make this all happen. Yeah, it's not just me. It's like a lot of people behind this. People have been calling in, and people have been, doing their work. But I just want to let y'all know that we are doing our best to keep him locked up.
The alleged victim and Velvet Marquez make a joke out of this situation.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, watch this carefully. The one you see on the top is Evil Velvet. Now, that's his wife. If I'm correct, they are legally married. That's her. They legally married. And they have a child together. Isn't that child gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous, right? The one on the bottom is another scorned woman. And she's the one who's saying this, revenge P and all this kind of stuff and how she was being abused. But I've seen videos of you being abusive to the other women over here. I saw you attacking these other women. That woman that's with the white top and the blue. Yeah, she tried to jump her. I'm just saying. All right, let's get to it. Let's hear what the two scorned women have to say. Now, like I said, the one up on top, she was just mad because she didn't want to share the wood. But she was the head chiefess, but she didn't want to share the wood. The one at the bottom wanted to become the head chiefess. I don't know. I think she was okay with sharing the wood, but she just wanted that title. Let's get it. Let's hear what they had to say.
How are you doing today? How are you feeling?
I'm freaking ecstatic in a way. I'm kind of tired.
Girl, get it, girl. Get it, girl. Yes. Wake up. Wake up.
Yo, I love you so much, yo.
I'm the resuscitator. I will bring you back to life. Oh, back to life. I got you. If you need it, just call on Velvet.
I love you so much, Velv, yo. I swear to God, yo.
Don't let men make you feel like because they didn't choose you that you're not the prize. Period. Because there's gonna be get away from him and stop giving your.
Wow, get a load of you, Evil Velvet, giving out dating advice, right? Let's get back to it. It's almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Hang in there.
Power to him because you need to harness all of that energy and build your foundation. Never let nobody take your power away ever again. Make sure you straight.
Thank you so much for talking to me today. We're gonna talk later. I love you.
I love you so much.
Velvet, I have nothing to say to you. You can go suck a nut. Honestly, and I mean that.
Oh, and by the way, they Velvet and Janae, that's the one you see right here, they're currently pregnant by the same dude. I believe now Velvet is saying, I think, allegedly, I don't know, saying it's not Solar's baby. I don't know. I think what's happening. But we all think it's Solar's baby. Yep, so they both currently pregnant by the same guy. Now, who is Solar? Let me show you who Solar is. He's one of those clowns that was out there too. Solar is the light-skinned one in the front with the light skirt. The turquoise skirt. That's Solar. They both pregnant by him. It's crazy, right? It's just like a soap opera. Let's get back to it.
That in the kindest way, I actually had the balls and the decency and put my pride to the side and the heart to apologize to the woman. And she, you know what she told me? She told me, yes, she told me, girl, I don't care about that. Verbatim, I don't care about that. All I care about is putting him underneath the jail. All I care about is putting him underneath the jail.
Although online critics and the alleged victim have been making a mockery out of this situation for the entire duration of Mr. Bishop's arrest, on June 7th, 2023, the DA puts in a motion for a gag order. The purpose of a gag order is to balance the First Amendment right, freedom of speech, with the Sixth Amendment right for there to be a fair trial, with a concern that too much commentary and publicity about a case can create jurors who have already made up their minds, which goes against having an impartial jury. In the gag order motion, the DA attaches Mr. Bishop's YouTube, referencing the malicious prosecution video which proves Alijio Bishop's innocence and that he's being set up. The gag order was put in place June 7th, 2023. Mr. Bishop has been locked up since April 14th, 2022. And for the entire year, Detective Moore and Panosian have defamed Mr. Bishop's character on news channels. Head prosecutor Tabitha Pazmino has defamed his character publicly at bond hearings. The alleged victim and online critics has defamed his character constantly while he's been incarcerated without a voice on false allegations. With Mr. Bishop having no voice, his family decided to exercise their First Amendment right, freedom of speech, to shed light on this malicious prosecution. But now the DA doesn't want anyone speaking on the case, although the online critic community and even the alleged victim has been constantly speaking on it. This case is one-sided and is showing favoritism to the alleged victim. Once the truth was exposed, now the DA is concerned about having a fair trial. After 1 year and 3 months, with this case having propaganda online that could harm Mr. Bishop's case, and without the witnesses or Mr. Bishop able to tell their side of the story, once the story is finally told, now all of a sudden the DA doesn't want anyone to discuss the case publicly. This entire case is one-sided and is showing favor to the alleged victim. Please go to Nature Boy TV on YouTube and watch the malicious prosecution video. Because in the gag order, the DA is asking YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook to remove it from their platforms. Share it with everyone you know.
Okay, that's the end of that video. Now, Emmanuel asked me a great question. It was, is this one of the former cult members or supporters making this video? I'm assuming it's one or the other, because this is on Nature. I'm glad you brought this up, so I had to say it. Nature Boy TV. So it's his channel, because you see a lot of his old videos when he first started off, before he got this whole clan of cult members or whatever you want to call it, blah, blah, allegedly. Everything I'm saying is allegedly. Everything I'm saying, I'm sharing my thoughts and opinions, right? But now, don't get me wrong, because if you really go into looking about this Nature Boy, I mean, he's not all that innocent. He has done some wicked stuff, but the point I'm trying to say is he's not the only one, and these women participated in it. And for them, just because they didn't get what they want, being scorned, now you want to turn against them? But it was okay when everything was going your way. You know, fair is fair. That's the point that I'm bringing up. You know, and man, you brought up something good. Could be karma, and which is true. Everything in life, you got to be careful. You dance with the devil, you're going to get burnt by the devil. Things is going to happen when, you're doing things in life that's not right, and you think you above the world, especially when you think you're above God, because there was times you running around here talking about he's God. Oh yeah, God got a trick for you. He's going to get you. So you have to be careful what you do. It's all right. That's just about the end of the commentary. I just want to get into the lesson was about scorned women, and not just necessarily with them, just women in general, of what women will do when they upset, they bitter. Things didn't go the way they thought it was going to go in a relationship. You didn't give them what they wanted. They feel like they wasted their time with you. They thought they was number one in your eyes, but come to find out they wasn't. And it does hurt. You care about a person, you give them your time, your love, your attention, and at the end, you feel like, wow, did he just kick me to the curb? Did he just basically tell me I'm not worth it? He doesn't want me no more? Well, I'm going to get revenge, and I'm going to show him. I'm going to show him I'm not going to take this crap. But honey, you got to be careful, because you might end up going to jail. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Emmanuel says something. Emmanuel says, I figured as much. Whoever was narrating that video reminded me of three Manson. Oh, the Manson. I love Emmanuel. He's so much on point. The 3 Manson family members who supported him outside of his court date. Ooh, that was something else. I wanted to talk about. I'm going to get into some. I wanted to do it before. I haven't done it. But I'm going to get into like different cult leaders. I think like the top 5, top 10 cult leaders. I still have my notes. I just haven't done it. But we're going to get into cult leaders. What else Emmanuel says? I think the entire cult should be locked up under the jail for what they did. That's what I'm saying. Everybody go. Why is it just Nature Boy? Everybody. Just like the same thing. Oh, come on, Emmanuel. Tell me if you agree with me. Share your thoughts and everything. Emmanuel and I have been rocking for years, all right? The same thing I feel about with R. Kelly. R. Kelly couldn't have done all that stuff by himself. Why is he the only one going to jail? Why? He had to have help. He didn't do all this by himself with all those women back and forth. There had to be witnesses, people that seen what he was doing. Why is he the only one going to jail? I know he had parties, and there's probably plenty of celebrities, people that we listening to their music and dancing to. They was probably at those parties with those young girls. So it's not fair. Fair is fair. That's just how I look at things in life. Fair is fair. So tell me, Manny, what do you think about that one? I don't know. Just brought that one up. All right. What? Well, I just have to say, sounds like he's about to feel the wrath of God. Yes, he is. I don't think he's gonna get out. I'm gonna definitely follow the trial if it's public. But I personally don't think he's gonna get out. But he should not be alone. He should not be alone, because the bottom line is, if Evil Velvet, let's go to Evil Velvet. Where's she at? Where you at, my girl? Come on, Evil Velvet. When she was with Nature Boy, if she didn't have to share the wood and just be the head chiefess, she would still be there right now as we speaking. But she didn't want to share the wood. Now, this other clownette, where's the other clownette over here? The one, oh no, not that one. That's the current wives right now. The one at the bottom, we saw Janae. Janae wanted that title. She wanted to be the head chiefess. But he didn't want to give her the title, so she's mad. So if she got the title, Nature Boy wouldn't be in jail right now. See, it's just not right. All these clowns need to go in. Yep, all of them. Yep. And these clowns over here. There are more of them. What's fair is fair. That's what it's all about. What's fair is fair. And the whole thing, I'm just saying, the reason why I'm doing this one's about scorned women. And not just this happens a lot. And like I said, whoever's here or watching replay, please share your thoughts and opinions. Tell me, gentlemen, or you could just email me if you want to talk to me personally. You don't want to put it out here. Everything's confidential. I can respect that. Share with me and let me know that you dealt with a scorned woman. You know, she just lost her mind because you didn't want her no more. So she was like, you know what? I'll fix you. Because when us women get evil, we can get real evil. Yep. Oh, yeah. Mod on deck. I see you, Jack. Creeping through the back door. All right, what else? All right, Emmanuel said, Donnie, you took the words right out of my mouth. I said the same thing about R. Kelly. Him, his wife, his security, and all the supporters should be in jail. Throw the whole damn group away. Exactly. Come on, let's just be fair. Could have did that by itself. The only clown that I know of, you know that clown, Emmanuel, work with me. Do you remember that clown over there in Cleveland, Ohio? Was it Cleveland, Ohio? And had those 3 girls locked up in his house for years. Remember? And he stepped out. He just happened to not lock the door. One of the locks, and she was able to escape. And he had okay. He had the 3 girls in there chained up. I could see that kind of be happening. But the way R. Kelly had these girls going in and out, all the stuff. Come on. And what about the parents? Let's talk about them, Emmanuel. Let's talk about the parents. Don't you know where your child is at? They sleeping out. They coming home, got cell phones, new clothes, got bags and everything. You know you didn't buy it. Where did that come from? I'm just saying, Emmanuel. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous. All right, so I'm going to end this one here. Anybody else have any questions? I guess not. All right. So we'll just see what happens and everything. Like I said, my channel, to whoever's watching replay or here or in the bushes, my channel's not a Nature Boy channel. And I'm not a Nature Boy supporter. But we have to call it as it is. You know, what it is what it is. All right? But when it goes to trial, if it's public, I will cover it. Yes, I will. I want to see how this is going to turn out. Very interesting. Oh, well. So, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, like I said, wait a minute, Manuel said something. The parents are the worst. Woo-oo. Let's talk about it, Manuel. The parents are the worst. I said that when it first happened, they should have received the hardest sentence. But no. Everything went fine with them. I didn't hear anything about it unless I missed the memo. Right, Emmanuel? Didn't hear anything. All right, but the whole bottom line, like I said to y'all ladies, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I know, ladies, it does hurt being rejected. I've been rejected. I've been let down by men several times. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. I don't get vindictive. I don't get crazy about it. You know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, like I always say is, and remember, on my channel, date smart, not thirsty. Just be careful. And to the ladies, if you feel like you're wasting your time with a man, just move on. If he's not giving you what you want in the time period that you have in your mind or whatever, but sometimes you might have to kind of talk to the guy. Just give him a little bit of where you at, your head is at, and what you want. Because sometimes y'all men can be a little bit clueless. It is what it is. All right? And they'll say to you, oh, babe, I didn't know you ain't saying nothing. I thought we was good. So that's why communication is so important in a relationship. And I believe in communication. I love to communicate. But sometimes, you know, the person that you're with, they might not want to communicate with you. And if that's happened, well, then you got a problem. The elephant is going to be in the room. It's going to stay in the room. And everybody's going to be stepping around that damn elephant all the time. Excuse my language. And, you know, that's not good. All right? So, like I said, remember, date smart, not thirsty. And stay tuned for some more of Donna Just Being Real.